Hello.
And welcome to Film
Bastards. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome people to episode 528 of Film Bastards. I am one of your co-hosts, Mark Foster, and as ever, I am joined by...
The score by John Barry and the Black Holes banging. Sorry for not talking about it, Mike. It's really, 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 really good. Ian Loring, hi.
It is. I met John Barry once. He was from York, sadly passed now, and I used to go. I had a friend who was quite involved with the York Panto at the Theatre Royal. It's like the York Panto is like a big deal. It's like one of the big pantos in the UK, and like the last showing of it of the season was always like a big deal because there was like a big after party, and I always used to end up getting invited to that because said friend would always be going, and I'd usually go and see the panto beforehand and then go to the thing. And I was sat next to this guy and I thought, I don't know why I recognise this guy. And I turned round to my friend and was like, why do I recognise this guy who sat next to me? And he just went, it's John. Like it was fucking nothing. I was like, but John who? He went, Bond theme tunes. I was like, it's John Barry. And he's like, yeah, John, this is Mark. And it was just like that. And then ended up sitting with him for the panto and then went to the after party with him and sat with him. Same after parties where I had to go at, not the same year, different year, that I had to go at Dame Judi Dench about the Chronicles of Riddick.
That's good.
Yeah. So yeah, that was it. There's no Becky at the moment. She's on her way home from work. She's going to try and join us, but it all depends on traffic and other bits and bats. Well, we've got a bit of a weird show, I think, this week, don't we, Ian? Because you were supposed to be somewhere else.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was supposed to be in Bahrain. Felt a little bit off and was coughing the night beforehand, so... Like, I'm supposed to leave my house at 10 to 7 to catch the train. I get up at 5 a.m, walk the dog, and I'm just feeling fucking horrific. And I'm just... Fuck, I better take a COVID test just in case. Just in case. It'll make me feel better. But, I'm not going to get on a plane if I've knowingly got COVID. Lo and behold, I fucking got COVID. I did 2 tests. They were both positive. It was like, right, that's that fucked then. So... Fair play. I got travel insurance, so I got most of the cost back. I've had to spend £80 on a PCR test to prove, like a lab test to prove that I've got COVID to get my F1 ticket back, money back. But I've already got most of the other money back, so I am a little bit out of pocket. Don't get me wrong, but not a disaster. But yeah. Fucking typical.
Yeah, that is just like I was talking to Bex about it and said it's one of the things, right, whereby that if there is some form of God, right, and when I shift this mortal coil and I get put through and you get to introduce to God, the first thing I say to him is, I need to whale with you fucking prick. And he's just going to look at me and go, it's a Bahrain thing. And I'm like, yeah, it fucking is. You absolute piece of fucking shit. I will happily get sent back down to hell to bollock God about this one. I was so angry for you.
It's good of you. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, Donna and I were making a lot of jokes about how we live in a simulation over the weekend. Just for some reason, like, a lot of talking about it over the weekend. I do wonder if it was just like, just pipe down.
Yeah.
Just pipe down.
He knows too much.
Yeah, quite. But, yeah, and I don't know. Is it a sign? Who knows? But, yeah. I watched all of the new season of Drive to Survive beforehand. And, we'll see about the race this weekend. I'm a little bit like, am I just going to be gutted watching it?
I can see honest. That, yeah. There's a little element of, do you know what? Maybe I give this one a miss and pick it up the week after.
Yeah. Even though, the Red Bull looks like it's going to be pretty tasty again, and you know, what does that mean for the season? Anyway. So got COVID, so like I'm pretty fucking low energy today, as you may already be able to tell, folks. So apologies, but I'll be back on it next show.
Yeah. So we've got no main review this week. Myself and Bex were going to review Wicked Little Letters, but then we haven't, because of my work, we haven't had a chance to actually get to it.
Oh, you guys not get to it?
No, we didn't get to it yet. Fair enough. We were gonna go last night, but we couldn't line up. Every night we couldn't line up the timings for it. They were a bit shitty out our way. But I think there is actually, because did you rewatch the Marvels this week?
Yes.
So me and Bex have watched Marvels as well. So we can kind of chat that and have that as a soft main review. I think we could maybe do.
We'll do some like bumper what we watched. I've watched 6 films in the last 2 days. I haven't really been able to do anything.
You've gone
else.
for it, haven't you? Yeah. So I've watched a few bits as well. So we'll get into that. We're a Pod Syndicate podcast. Go listen to our friends' shows. And yeah, cool. What's been happening in the old movie news this past week?
Yeah, there have been some things. I'm pretty sure. So what was I going to say? The Screen Actors Guild and the Producers Guild awards were over the weekend, and it's basically setting up that everything, all the major Oscar awards other than Best Actress, are sewn up.
Yeah. I still think Actress is sewn up as well.
Who for?
For Actress, I think it'll be Emma Stone.
Yeah, you think? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's we recorded on the Sundays. We didn't talk about the BAFTAs either, did we? It's just it's all going the way of, you know, Oppenheimer, really. I do wonder whether Killers of the Flower Moon is going to end up not getting any wins, which I think I speculated might happen when we talked about the Oscar nominations. But
it just seems to have. I think it's more that there's other films that are more Oscar-y than Killers of the Flower Moon. I think people don't quite know where to put Killers of the Flower Moon. I think a little bit. I think it caught people off guard.
It's just, and I don't know, like, the release strategy was interesting because, you know, it premiered at Cannes and then basically, you know, didn't come out for another 5 months. So by the time it came out, it had already been talked about quite a lot, that it almost felt like kind of old news. Like, okay, it's not like a public release, but people in the industry have seen it since May last year.
Yeah, the weird thing is, like, Oppenheimer came out like months before Killers of the Flower Moon, but Killers of the Flower Moon feels like it's been out longer.
Doesn't it? Yeah. I mean, but it has kind of been percolating in the kind of like the zeitgeist for longer. That's the thing. Yeah, I think that's yeah, exactly. And Oppenheimer as well. You know, it's a very, very, very good film. And it's almost like one that you can they could go, right, finally, we can give Christopher Nolan his flowers. And, you know, the one thing that does surprise me is how strong Cillian Murphy's been with actor, because it's not exactly a showy fucking role, is it? Like, it's very buttoned down. It's not your usual best actor performance.
No, it's not. Yeah. I think there's an element of... I mean, for a start off, it's a biopic, and biopics get a bit of favouritism in awards seasons. It's almost like there should be a separate category for it. I'm not saying there should be. I'm saying it's getting to the point now where it feels like there's a possibility that it should have to happen just for fairness. But I think there's an element of he's very well respected in the industry. Cillian Murphy, and quite well liked within the industry. So there's an element of that we might not be able to give him another one, and it's not like he doesn't deserve it for this.
I wonder whether there's a part of that to it as well, where he's not. This is actually like he's not a massive star, and it was very. He'd worked with Nolan before, and he like bears a physical resemblance to Oppenheimer. So, if Nolan wasn't directing this, I wonder whether he would have been cast.
Well, that's it. It's what his fifth with Nolan, I think, but it's the first time he's been cast as a lead with Nolan. He doesn't get a lot of leading man roles, and I think he's fine with not getting a lot of leading man roles. And the thing there is, let's say, I think if you said to Cillian Murphy right now, right, Cillian, you've got schedules have mashed it together, and you've got two options. We either want you to do the new 28 years, months, whatever it is later movie than a Cottlet. You can either do that, or you can do this Marvel franchise where you're playing Doctor Doom or something like that. Which one do you want to do? This one's a franchise, you're going to get banked for it, or there's the indie film that kind of helped launch your career. He'll go, yeah, I'm not going to do the Marvel thing. I'll do the 28 years later thing. He's just going to kind of do that because it's just that's his wheelhouse. That's where he likes to sit, and
he's going to be able to get things bankrolled because he'll be an Oscar winner. Like that won't, that will up his trying to think of the words, but his star quotient almost to be like, we get him, we've got an Oscar winner. So I think that's good. Best Actress is an interesting one. It does kind of feel like it's going to be Emma Stone, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I just, again, Lily Gladstone, put yourself in supporting actress. You're gonna defeat Divine Joy Randolph, and Divine Joy Randolph has literally won every single precursor.
Yeah, she has, and I deservedly so as well. She's fantastic
she's great
in all the I still maintain I think the single best bit of acting that I have seen this past year in cinema is her breakdown in the kitchen in The Holdovers, because it's not over the top. It's not her screaming or anything like that. You think it might end up being. It's just a person who just breaks down, and it's heartbreaking. It's fantastic, and she's going to deserve that. But yeah, I think Gladstone would have been the big challenger in if she'd have been in supporting actress there, because I get why they don't want to consider it a supporting performance, but she literally disappears for an hour and a half of the movie.
Yeah.
And the thing is, weirdly, supporting has often been, and this is going back historically in awards season, is actor in a lead performance, action lead performance. That is what the movie stars, the leading man, the leading women, that's what they get, and the character actors gets the best supporting. And it's almost a little bit like that. It's felt often like. Historically. So, from a pure acting sense, I know that we're not supposed to mention his name as much anymore, but Kevin Spacey, has said that the best supporting actor means more to him than the best actor, because that's like that you were the brightest movie star this year, and the supporting one was like, you were really fucking good in that.
Yeah. That's interesting with RDJ as well, where he's basically won everything as well.
Again, with that one, I think there's an argument to make that I don't even think he's the best supporting actor performance in that film.
Yeah, sure.
And he's very good in it, but I do think it's a little bit like, we want to give Robert Downey Jr. an Academy Award.
Yeah, I mean, there's that as well, and again, that kind of feels like, and then he doesn't have to do any awards chasing, and he can just go back to making films that make box office.
Although it'd be more interesting if he did, if he could do the career that he had in the early 90s before he went to prison, where he was making really interesting small budget movies, because when he does a big budget blockbuster now, they, Marvel aside, they tend to be, he does a voice and they're a bit crap.
Yeah. It's sorry, excuse me. Sorry, I've lost my thread, mate. Sorry.
No, that's all good. I think it's going to be interesting. What I will say is, show exclusive. Myself and Becky have both got the Monday after the Oscars off, so I think we are going to do Oscar Bation.
Oh, great! Good.
You've got work the next day that you've got there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm fairly certain we were. It's random. I didn't book it. I have it off, and then Beck's like, "Oh, I've booked it off." I was like, "Oh, have you?" She's like, "Yeah." So it's like, "Right, are we doing it?" She's like, "Yeah, fuck yeah."
Oh, that's great. Good. All right, I'll look forward to listening to that.
Yeah. So that could be fun.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, I need to be in work that day. But okay, so award season nearly at an end, and then in a couple of months' time we got Cannes.
Yeah.
Just the circle continues spinning. Okay, what else have we got? I swear there's some other stuff. Vin Diesel's said that they're getting going on the next Fast film, which it looks like will be the last one.
Yeah, he's pretty much confirmed it is the last one, hasn't he?
Yeah, like that. He had said, the studio asked me about maybe doing a trilogy just before Fast X came out. Fast X then came out and did okay, but pretty disappointing.
Yeah,
and there we go.
Fast X did enough that it's very much not a flop, but it also didn't do what it was probably 300 million shy of what they hoped, I'd say.
Yeah, quite. So Fast X2, whatever that's going to be, come in, I don't know, probably be next year.
Can you imagine that it would be so Fast and Furious to call it Fast X2, but stylise it as Fast XII and not realise that that's 12?
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, that would be beautiful. Just do it kind of on purpose, just because it's funny.
There you go, Uncle Ben. You know what to do.
Yep, absolutely. There's probably other stuff, but I can't.
Dennis Villeneuve hates words.
Oh. That's funny. Yeah, so, Denis Villeneuve promoting Dune 2 is basically trying to, pimp the whole go see it in the cinema, because, see it big and all that. Saying that, dialogue is television and theatre, the visuals is cinema. And, I don't go out of films remembering quotes, I remember images. And, that's a very, very subjective position to take.
It is.
I think I will say.
It's one of those where you go, do you know what? I see where you're coming from. It's bollocks, though. because people quote, fucking movies a lot. Or reference movies. I had a great one at work the other day that wasn't by me, but it was over. We have an internal tannoy system, so it's a headset system. And we have these things that sit behind the tills that we call totes. That, when stuff's returned, it gets put in totes to take out. Somebody said on the headset, that goes out to pretty much everybody that's wearing a headset, so 70% of the staff, put out, has anyone lost a tote behind the tills. Lots of talk means has anyone left theirs and gone away without taking it with them and has forgotten where they've left it. But it sounded like the guy said toe, not totes. So one of the other guys that was on the fitting rooms at the time, called Louis, said over the headset, "Wait, has it got nail polish on it?" And the guy just went, "What? No. What do you mean?" Like, so it's not got nail polish on it? And he's like, "No." He went, "No, I'm not missing it then." And everybody, like 4 or 5 people went, "What?" And then me and another 2 other people went, "I got that. Well played."
Nice.
And it was a beautiful moment because nobody else got it apart from me and 2 other people.
Nice. Yeah, it's you know, a bit of like bullshittery that you and I don't know. It's such a shame because like you can see what he's trying to do. Like he's trying to go like, hey, cinema's about like the being immersed in stuff, but I don't know. It's a bit throwing the baby out with the bathwater. If he was saying, you know, my films aren't about the dialogue, they're about the visuals, and that's what I see cinema to be, then fair enough. But, you know, we don't talk a lot about television here, but, you know, one of the things that people do say about TV is that it does often have great writing. You know, and it's... yeah, I don't know. It feels like it's denigrating where it's like, yeah, but, you know, nobody fucking asked you to throw television under the bus.
Yeah, it's like, you didn't need to say that.
No, quite. It's just an odd one.
It's just almost like the fucking the mood board for Dune 2 was just an explosion and somebody pointing saying, "Don't you fucking say anything." It's just...
Yeah, I mean, look, having rewatched Dune Part 1 today, I mean, like, I'm definitely not going to Dune for the fucking dialogue either, Denny. Don't get me wrong, but, you know, that's pretty specific to my experience watching Dune Part 1, not watching films in general.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, there's a film I'm going to talk about that I have watched an awful lot in my life where it is literally, the majority of it is a man talking. So, yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else come up this week in the wonderful world of film, and I don't think there is. Should we move on to some trailers?
Yes, let's.
Right. What have we had?
There's been a few, haven't there? So I saw the TV Glow trailer came out today.
Oh, that's come out today. I haven't watched any of the Today ones, just from being at work. Yeah.
So this is A24 doing their A24 thing. It's directed by the woman who directed We're All Going to the World's Fair, Jane Showen Brown. I want to say her name is. And yeah, I don't know, it looks interesting. Lots of quotes from like IndieWire and Vanity Fair in the trailer. So it's one of those.
You mean the A24 speed dial?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it could be all right. It seems to be about like these people being obsessed with like a 90s TV show, and then like the lines start blurring between reality and that show or something. Looks pretty evocative. It's got a couple of interesting images in the trailer. Comes out in May in the US, I want to say. So we'll see when it hits over here. But I
quite like Justice Smith as well.
Interesting. Yeah, Justice Smith's all right, and we'll see how it goes. It looks all right, and I've not seen We're All Going to the World's Fair. Like I know Noel wasn't that big into it, and I think that's kind of put me off slightly. So
I think Beck saw it and said it was fine.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah. So there we are. Okay, what else we got?
Did you just watch the trailer for Dogman?
No, I didn't watch this. No, how is it?
I mean, like, as it started, Bex just turned around to me and went, I mean, you had me at Caleb Landry Jones. Which I kind of did respond and say, you might have lost me at Luke Besson, however. But, yeah, Caleb Landry Jones, it looks fucking bonkers, is what I will say. But I am up for Caleb Landry Jones playing what looks like a transvestite, but not in that kind of way. It just looks a bit mad, and I'm kind of there for it. But
Okay.
99% of that is because it's Caleb Landry Jones, and he's just a really fucking interesting actor.
Nice. Yeah. We didn't talk about Borderlands last week, did we?
I think it arrived after the show.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think it arrived on like Tuesday or something like that last week. Yeah. So Borderlands. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I'm kind of buying what it's selling. It looks like watered down Mad Max.
Yep.
But sure. I feel like if it's a 12A, that's a real warning sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels very much like Eli Roth trying to make a movie that he thinks Robert Rodriguez should be making now. And I don't mean that as negative as it sounds. It's just there's an awful lot of I'm watching going, like, the Jack Black thing looks like that's going to be funny. Kate Blanchett looks like she's going to make everybody have a crush on her, even more than they already do. Kevin Hart will be nowhere near as funny as he thinks he is. And Jamie Lee Curtis will just be a little bit annoying.
All valid points. It's the production on this, like, they shot, I swear they were shooting this in 2020, and then they did reshoots, and Tim Miller did the reshoots, not Eli Roth. Eli Roth directed Thanksgiving instead, because, you know, that's the thing, it's like Thanksgiving came out last year, he shot this before that, so it's been around for a bit, but I think August is a smart release for it. Kind of like late summer, maybe the only big thing out that weekend.
So I'm looking now, they started shooting it in 2021.
That was the 2021.
By the time it comes out, it'll have been shot 3 years ago.
Yeah, there you go. So that's, I feel like there's some warning signs there.
Yeah. I hope it's 93 minutes long.
That'll do.
Yeah.
That'll do. Yeah.
What else have we got?
Oh, sorry. I thought it muted. Sorry.
What else have we got? Oh, Boy Kills World.
Yeah. Again, this is a why not?
Yep. I know Becky isn't here, but there was 2 films this week where she said, "Yep, that's just jumped to my most anticipated movie of the year after Dune," and this was the first one.
Nice. Yeah, I could see why.
I mean, having the inner voice be H. John Benjamin, so basically Archer, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that's a fun. I like that aspect of it, actually. Because Bill Skarsgård's basically not going to say anything in it the whole thing. Yeah, that's the
thing. Yeah, I like the fact that Bill Skarsgård picks really fucking interesting roles. He definitely seems like a guy who he doesn't really. He doesn't seem like he wants to be a star. He just wants to pick stuff that he thinks looks pretty fucking cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I very much like the look of this. There's a great bit in it where it's something like, I mean, he was going to die anyway. And the inner voice is like, I just don't think that's true. It's just, yeah, that has potential. Again, if it's under 98 minutes, that has the potential to be fucking great.
Yep, for sure.
Do you know what's not going to be 98 minutes?
What?
Horizon,
Yeah.
an American saga. It's not going to be 98 minutes.
No, that thing is going to be really, 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 really long. Look, I'm not vibing with it, and I know you are, so I'm going to let you speak because I don't want to be negative.
It's Kevin Costner doing a big fucking western and bringing just a fucking stacked motherfucking cast along with him. But I like the fact that he's bringing a stacked cast and he's also bringing along like just people that he likes working with. So like Dale Dickey's in there, Kathleen Quinlan's in there, Will Patton is of course in there. Yeah, the thing is, I have a feeling this is either going to be very much... Look, if you're into Kevin Costner and westerns, it will be your bag. But it will be a little bit... not quite vegetables, but cold beans for everybody else. Whereas I will fucking eat cans of that shit. And like I say, this was the other one where Bex is a bit of a Kevin Costner thing anyway, turned around at the end of this and went, yep, there we go, that is my most anticipated movie of the year. And it's not even a movie, it's 2 fucking movies.
Yeah, and I think he's like saying that he'd do 4 parts if he can.
And let's face it, Kevin Costner can.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? You'd think so. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. But I don't know. The thought of watching this for 3 hours twice.
But do you know what? Do you know what would be really interesting with this? If it came out and they were each like pretty much bang on 2 hours. I don't think it's gonna be. I think they're gonna be like 2.5 hours each. But if they came out and they were both, and he just did them as a tight, this is 2 hours, this is 2 hours 15 minutes. The second one, that would be like, oh, all right, fair enough. This is just a 2-parter. Well played. But I do think they're going to be 2.5 hours and 3.5 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agree.
Yeah. Have we got any more for trailers?
I think that's it for me.
That's it for me as well. Should we chat a film?
Sure.
So, Ian, we both watched... You rewatched The Marvels, didn't you? Because you saw it in cinemas, didn't you? So
Yeah.
This is going to be our kind of main review, because we both watched it, and, you know, it's... I'd not watched it yet. So it's Nia DaCosta's The Marvels, which stars Brie Larson, Teyonah Parris, Imani Vellani, Zawe Ashton, Samuel Jackson's in there, and other people crop up. Now, I haven't watched any of the Marvel TV shows. So I haven't watched Ms. Marvel, and I haven't watched Loki, is it? The other one's in? I don't know.
What? It's One Division.
One Division. Haven't watched that either. So being honest, there were points of this where I was going, who are you? This has been the most right. You need to have watched or had some kind of ingestion of who these people are, and I didn't. So that was a little bit jarring, especially as Kamala Khan. There's a lot of personality there, is what I would say. There's a lot of inflections, which I'm guessing have built in the series, because for the first half of the movie, I genuinely was hoping at one point that Captain Marvel was going to punch her into dust. But once it softened a little bit, I actually started to get on with it a little bit more.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Like, the fact that you haven't seen Miss Marvel, so you don't... Yeah, like, if you're then seeing her and, like, that bit at the start where it's kind of like the animated catching people up stuff, yeah, I could see that being quite, like, fucking hell, just calm down, girl.
I was all right with that. It was the constantly screaming and being like, ooh, ah! And it was like, will you shut up? This is weird. How jarring this is to everything else. I'll be honest, I enjoyed the Marvels. It's shit, but I wasn't bored at any point. It's weird because it's got a really good action set piece. So you know the fight where they first are switching powers.
Yeah,
that's really good.
In,
really
like the
energetic.
house and whatnot. Yeah, it
fun.
is.
However, I was watching, going, dude, that's a person's fucking house. Like they trashed that house. So I was getting a little bit upset about that because it was a nice looking house. They had a vibe in that house. I feel like they took a pride into it. That was really good. But then there was other bits in it that I was watching, going, this is really bad. Like the choreography and the fact that Captain Marvel, her powers seem to shift like how powerful she can be, like really like a lot, an awful lot. There's points where it's like she's having fights with henchmen, and then there's bits where she's literally just flying through fucking like planets.
That's a fair point.
And it's
I
a bit
suppose
like,
it's kind of,
come on.
yeah, like it would be like she's supposed to be like the most powerful entity in the in like the Marvel universe. So the fact that she ends up having fist fights is odd.
Yeah, it is odd.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought that John Majors in Ant-Man 3 had given us the worst villain in a Marvel movie. And then Zawe Ashton turned up. And I can't even really work out what was going on with her. Partially because I was distracted because she's got a real duck walk. You know, when the feet are just pointed too far out. And it feels like the lower half of her legs are heavier than the upper half. So she's a bit of a clomper. And that was distracting me quite a lot. But I've seen her in stuff, and she's quite good. But this is just not where she hasn't got the energy for this at all. It's
this really weird low energy performance where also they're trying to do the kind of like villain that you can have sympathy with their plight kind of thing that they did with Killmonger. So you've got her basically wanting to help the people of her planet, but screwing over like any other planet she can to do so. But then that's basically all there is to it. Like I couldn't tell you what like powers she had. I think she had one of those big hammer things.
She had a hammer that she could harness the power of the magic fucking bracelet thing.
Right, yeah, but that was it, yeah.
Even the, we switch places when we use our powers thing. It's a good little fucking, alright, that makes sense. Except they use their powers loads without switching places.
Yes, that I picked up on that this time round as well. There's some real inconsistency with that.
And it was almost like going, right, so is it if you use it at a certain level? If there's like a bar that goes up and it goes like, like a rage bar in a game.
Yeah.
They hit their rage bar. Fucking hell, shit, we switch places again. So I can maybe forgive it for that. But for all its kind of failings, and it does calm down when it gets about halfway through, I think, is Captain Marvel, in spite of the fact that Marvel seems to want to make her as unlikable as possible, is actually quite. She realizes quite good in it. She's quite likable in it.
Yeah.
And quite sweet in it. I didn't mind the singing planet scene. I do get a feeling that a little bit like Marvel need to drop the fact that in every film now they have to go to a quirky planet thing. But I didn't mind that. Although, if you're going to cast somebody on a singing planet, maybe have them sing in their native language so it doesn't sound so fucking weird on top of weird. But and then you've got the memories bit with the cats eating people and the Tannoy saying, "Let the whatever they are eat you. It'll be fine." Just going over, and you watch it going. That's just fucking great.
There's that moment where it's almost like a horror film or something, where like if somebody's like running away, like turns a corner, like kind of settles down. It's like, oh, thank God for that. And then just behind them, there's a cat.
Yeah.
It's that moment. Like I feel like that's Nia DaCosta putting her fingerprints on it in a film that doesn't have a lot of Nia DaCosta's fingerprints on it.
That's it.
Like,
this is the bad points of this film were the ones done by where the style Bible and the focus group people.
Yeah,
they were the bad points. The Nia DaCosta and the actors having a little bit of fun were the good points.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about your second watch?
Yeah, no, I really quite like the Marvels. It's in terms of the Marvel films. Excuse me, Marvel films that are out last year. I think Guardians Volume 3 is the real success story of them all.
Yeah,
but I like it, and it's interesting. Like Donna afterwards was like, if that was 3 men in the leads, that would be a really, really popular Marvel film.
If it was
and
3
men,
men,
I can't argue with that.
I would say if it was 3 men, if it was this film, it was 3 men in the leads, and it was 5 years ago. Probably, I still think now it won't. I think the air has gone out of the Marvel.
If it was like pre-Endgame.
Yeah, if it was pre-Endgame, yeah, absolutely. But I also think that if this film had come out pre-Endgame itself, I think it'd have been really popular. I just think the air has gone out of the balloon.
I wonder, because like the critical reaction to this was really pretty bad. Like not Ant-Man 3 levels, but very. Oh, is that it? And I think there's kind of a case for that, because it's basically an hour and a half before credits, and it feels like it's been chopped up. It does. It feels like it's the minimum version of what it could be, and the Monica Rambeau character, I think, really gets shit on with that. You've got that one scene where they have that conversation. It's like just before like the final battle, they're on that planet and they're having a conversation, and that's kind of the only time that those two really talk to each other like properly, and it's not just about the matter at hand. And the idea of Captain Marvel like basically hiding this dark shit, and then she's having to confront it, and like, there's that moment where they're trying to save all those people on the planet, and Miss Marvel's like trying to save them all, and Captain Marvel's like, you can't save them all. It kind of feels like that is leading to something that isn't really developed. Like it feels like it's been chopped down to, let's just have it in and out, like entertaining, almost kind of one-off kind of thing. Sorry, I'm just going to blow my nose. I'll just be a second.
I think that's also represented in the fact that you've got a mid-credits but no post-credits.
Well, yeah. And also, like, the trailer that came out, like, the week beforehand, where they were just fucking desperate to get people in the cinema, and it was, like, it was just clips from old MCU films, and then this one was like, this is the one that changes everything. And it's like, it's changed fuck all.
Yeah.
What's it changed?
It's brought the X-Men into the universe.
Yeah. I mean, okay, yeah, Beast is in it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's it then, is it?
That's kind of it. And the thing is, it's not as good as Guardians 3, but Guardians 3 has got 2 other movies, and the characters are involved in another 3 other Marvel movies. So it's got an embedded kind of lore within it. They're embedded characters. And I know Captain Marvel has had a movie, but the Captain Marvel, the movie was, 4 years old by the time this had come out, and there had been like another 5 or 6 movies come out since, probably more actually. And it was almost, and Brie Larson, Captain Marvel was barely in Endgame, and then you've got the TV things, which I think just cheapen it a little bit, and then it doesn't. There's no. If the Marvels had have happened before Endgame, let's say, you'd have had somebody else would have cropped up in it in some description. You'd have had, I don't know, a Thor would have cropped up in it, or Wanda, or somebody would have been in it in some fucking description, Doctor Strange, or somebody. But it isn't. It's just these guys, which is fine. But, Captain America cropped up in the Thor movies. And, they crossed over. Now, it just, every single one of them feels like it is there to keep the fire burning while they run away and get the big fucking logs they need to get it roaring again. But they can't find them. There's an element of, there's no matter how many times can Fire come out and go, do you know what, we fucked up by having these TV shows and bits like that. It's like, yeah, really, you got fucking greedy motherfuckers. But you're now trying to jumpstart something that people have kind of started to lose interest in. I've still not watched the second Black Panther movie because it's over 2 hours long. The reason why I watched the Marvels is twofold. One, it is under 2 hours by a distance. And 2, I thought at some point Brie Larson's going to be wearing a white vest, and I'm kind of cool with that. So that's what it is. It's you've lost people, and you need to do something to get them back. And it feels like what they're going to try and do is they're going to hit a big button that says Oscar-winning Robert Downey Jr. back as the voice of Iron Man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think they're playing it smart this year. You got one actual MCU film, Deadpool and Wolverine. The stink of Madam Web and potentially Kraven the Hunter, I feel like that will be not disconnected enough from the main MCU that's not going to have an effect. And then, I think Fantastic Four will be big. I think but there are questions about Captain America: New World Order and Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts, a bunch of B-list bad guys and anti-heroes do in a Suicide Squad thing. Really?
Yeah, it just feels a little bit like
Captain America. Yeah,
nobody's asking for it. I mean, Captain America: Brave New World.
No.
That's just over a year away, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it might be February.
Yeah, February 14th. Apparently, it's scheduled for.
Which is, I don't know. The first Black Panther was a February release, so who knows? But yeah, we shall see. I think it's good that there's only one this year, and it feels very much like a one-off. And then let's see how things then pan out next year. They as long as they just calm down on the TV shows as well, like that will help.
Yeah, that
make them events again.
That's exactly it. The thing is, there's a possibility I will probably watch the Marvels again, to be honest, because I enjoyed it enough, and it's very, if we're using our food analogy, there's no vegetables here. It is just a big bag. It's a bag of Tang Fastics. And
yes,
I occasionally, I think it's quite nice to eat a bag of Tang Fastics.
Fair.
What else have you been up to, Ian?
Just a little bit of breaking news.
Ooh,
to an extent, Paramount have announced a bunch of release dates, including for the Liam Neeson starring Naked Gun reboot. I forgot was happening.
Holy fuck! I forgot that was happening as well. That could go one of two ways.
It's being directed by Akiva Schaffer of The Lonely Island, so I'm quietly confident in that.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson as Frank Drebin is very, very good. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Because obviously the great thing about Leslie Nielsen was what that character is doing, he doesn't think is funny in any way. Like he is.
No, his deadpan was just unbelievably good.
And Liam Neeson will be able to do that.
Yeah. I mean his little fucking cameo in Ted 2, I think, is kind of indicative of that.
Yes, quite. Yeah. No, good. Okay, so what have I been up to? So, the aforementioned season 6 of Drive to Survive. We were on what we're up to, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, fucking my head is really gone. So yeah, 6th season of Drive to Survive. Watched it all over the course of 48 hours. I was wondering what they were going to do here because there was no drama in the championship whatsoever, and so they just ignore Max Verstappen completely. Which every now and then you get like the shot of him winning the race, and they talk a little bit about him winning the world title, but they very smartly look at other things, even though it is interesting and there is a little bit of a tang of were they told not to cover certain things with it. So Red Bull, Max Verstappen dominant, Sergio Perez in the other car had a really, really mixed season. Came second in the in the drivers' championship in the end, but only with a couple of races to go. Where if you compare that to Max Verstappen in the same car, one with 5 or 6 races to go, could have won the Constructors' Championship by himself. So they don't really focus on the difficulties that Sergio Perez had, which was one of the big stories. And I do wonder whether that was Red Bull going, hey, if you want us to actually work with you, you're not going to do things on Sergio. Just because it was, and he was under a lot of stress. And, it's like the Mexican Grand Prix, his home race, there was a lot of pressure on him. And, people were talking about, if he doesn't pull off a result here, could he lose his seat? And then what does he do? The first lap, he guns it into the first corner and basically takes himself out. And, and it's just, it's interesting that there wasn't any of that. But they get some good stuff in there though. Talking about the rise of Aston Martin, who kind of came out of the gate running really fast at the start of the season, but then they don't focus on the fact that they then after the first 5 or 6 races don't really do much for the rest of the season. There's I don't know. There's just a bit. this was the first season where I'd really been following Formula One, and then watching Drive to Survive. It's like, is that an accurate representation of what actually happened that season?
Yeah.
Kinda.
And that's interesting, actually. Yeah, I suppose it is the first season where you've actively been like properly following it and then watching it. Yeah, that's interesting.
And you know, like people in the F1 community have always been quite like with Drive to Survive. Like literally, they'll have somebody racing. There'll be a radio message, but it's not actually a radio message from that point in time. But they've put it in there to build a narrative. And that's been called out like several times. And yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It was almost like my eyes were actually opened up to, even though this is a sports documentary, there is an artificiality to it. And it does pull its punches, except for where it kind of feels like the teams have maybe said, no, that's okay. Like an example of that. So they had this new driver in Red Bull's junior team, AlphaTauri, this guy Nick De Vries, who won like Formula E, and I think he won like Formula 3. And he comes in, and this is his first season, and basically they chucked him out about halfway through the season and got Daniel Ricciardo back, and Daniel Ricciardo like basically went out of Formula 1 the previous season, and then he's back. But there's footage of Nick De Vries at the Monaco Grand Prix, and oh god, what is it that he says? It's like the person on the radio asks him to do something, and he's like, "Which button do I have to push for that?"
Oh,
and it's like, if that was a driver who was still in one of the teams, they wouldn't be showing that. They wouldn't be allowed to show that. They wouldn't get it signed off. But because he was shit-canned anyway, they're like, yeah, fuck it, like, throw him under the bus. And it was like, it was the first time I remember in Drive to Survive there being an example of someone in the car basically demonstrating that they don't know what to do in the car.
yeah. Oh.
Also, funnily enough, it's a guy who no longer races for that team and no longer races in F1.
So they can kind of be
I'm
a little bit shitty towards him.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit like, if I was him, I'd be fucking fuming, because I bet there are other rookie drivers who have done the same, maybe even worse. I mean, oh god, there was a Russian driver, Nikita Mazepin, who the paddock nicknamed him Nikita Massive Spin because of how shit he was. You know, like, and they didn't. Yeah, I don't know. There was just like a callousness there, which is associated with the Red Bull and AlphaTauri teams anyway. Oh fuck me! If United win tonight, it's going to be Liverpool United in the quarterfinal.
If we win.
Oh, yeah, Liverpool playing tonight.
Yeah, we play Southampton with our broken team.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of our seven technically 7 of our starting 11 are academy players tonight.
Wild. That'd be a good game, that. But anyway, sorry. So yeah, I don't know. The sheen slightly came off, but I still find it really compulsive viewing, and there are storylines in it that are like absolutely an accurate reflection of what was happening. The Daniel Ricciardo coming back in, basically because he's in the junior team, but he wants a Red Bull seat. But again, they focus on Ricciardo. And they focus on, like, so Ricciardo came back for like 2 races, then essentially broke some bones in his hand in a crash. And then another rookie driver comes in who actually does well and scores points. And then it's a bit like, well, is he going to get a drive next season? Is he not? And again, in the moment last year, it was like, no, Daniel Ricciardo's going to come back. Like, he's going to come back. In this, they really play up the, they've got a decision to make, and what's it going to be? And it's... Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Like I say, the bloom came off the rose a little bit.
Yeah.
But I still ate up 10 episodes of it in 2 days.
It's fair.
So, So, there you go. Drive to Survive. That'll probably be the last time I talk Formula 1 on the podcast for a bit because I'm pissed off. So, there we are. Just about the whole Bahrain thing. So, films. As I said, I've been through quite a few. Rewatch Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Mm-hmm. It's not Fallout. What is?
It's an incredibly high watermark, is Fallout.
Yeah, it is. It is. Sorry, I'm just going to blow my nose.
I think there's a genuine argument that you could make to state that Fallout might be up there in the top 3 blockbuster action movies ever made.
That's an interesting argument. Yeah. I mean, it is a 5 out of 5 banger. It is an exceptional film. Dead Reckoning is a very good action blockbuster.
Yeah.
I think it's also maybe a little high on the smell of its own farts. With the whole kind of like the evils of AI and Macquarie loves his just like deep dialogue, like really thick, juicy dialogue, and talking about that, like how the AI is going to like mean that nobody can trust anything. But then also it's represented by a big blue pulsing thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's got some wacky ideas, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they retool it.
Yeah. Because it's now no longer Dead Reckoning Part 1. It's just Dead Reckoning.
Even though, the version on Sky Cinema still says Part 1 and still says, weirdly, before the credits run, end Part 1. It's like, isn't that end of Part 1? No, end Part 1. Okay. But yeah, also, I mean, it is very long as well, that film. And they do Rebecca Ferguson so dirty. And I get it. You get the sense because Rebecca Ferguson's like, yeah, I don't want to do all this action stuff. Thanks very much. But just kind of like replacing her with younger, fresher faced Hayley Atwell when Tom Cruise isn't getting any fresher faced. I don't know. It just seems a bit rude. But yeah, look, we'll see what part. The thing is, this one, if it wasn't for the Henry Czerny like thing at the voiceover at the end, you could actually say, all right, the end of it then is Ethan finds the submarine and destroys the cross key thing.
Yeah,
job done. You actually could I mean, a little bit of a limp ending, but if the next one, they're just like, yeah, that was all resolved, you can kind of get away with it.
Yeah, the opening could be literally him killing him dismantling the cross key, and then work out how you write right. But who's the real bad guy behind this? And then go from there.
Yeah,
I think it'll be retooled for sure.
But it's like, do they retool it, or is it literally they're not going to have it called Part 2, and they're just going to
be a do it as a different film rather than a sequel to that?
Either that, or just kind of trick people into it's not a follow-up from that one that kind of like maybe people didn't quite like as much as everybody thought they were going to, but then you get into it and it is a sequel to that one.
Yeah. I mean, I still think they fucked up with the release date.
Week before Oppenheimer and Barbie you could sense that they knew that because it came out not the Friday, it came out the Monday So, like, they gave themselves an extra 4 days. And it was, like, because they knew what was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they really did mess that up, didn't they? But yeah, there you go. Dead Reckoning Part 1. I actually don't know when I will watch this one again. And it's like Fallout, I could stick on, like, pretty much any time.
Yeah.
This one, it's just the fact that it's
2.5 hours long.
you know, yeah, but also, like, so at the start, you've got the submarine bit, which is cool because it's like the hunt for Red October, but other than that, it takes a while. And then you've got the bit in the desert, which is like 5-10 minutes. That's like, right, so what did that add? And then you've got the bit where Carrie Elways and Henry Czerny and Rob Delaney and Mark Gatiss are in that room. And then that's like 10 minutes as well. And that, it's like Carrie Elways being introduced to the concept of the IMF. And it's like, why is this in here? Like, are you actually trying to explain all of this stuff for people who are, like, new to the films, even though it's the 7th one?
Yeah, there is an element of that a little bit where it just...
Yeah, 7th.
It does seem a little bit like there's bits you could just pull out of it without affecting the film.
Yeah. And that bit with, like, the Deliveroo guy. And, like, he has to do, like, the code word thing with Tom Cruise. And,
Less
like
focused.
I say, it's got a lot of ideas, and the success of Fallout, I think, led Macquarie and Cruise to go, all right, we can indulge a bit here. And I think people did negatively react to that because, yeah, man, like, this is over 2.5 hours, and you just don't need a lot of this.
Yep.
Once past that stage and they're in the airport, then, it kind of starts flying from there.
Yeah.
But that opening 20-25 minutes, man, it's weirdly paced.
Fallout works because it feels so precise.
Yeah, I mean, you got that. Fallout. The pre-titles bit is fantastic. The whole kind of like faking the hospital room thing, and the Wolf Blitzer stuff. That's great fun. But then after that, it's bit on an airbase, and then he does that fucking Halo jump.
Yep.
And again, we're off to the races. You got the bathroom fight. You got Vanessa Kirby, and then you've got the heist. Like Ethan kind of having to pretend to be the bad guy stuff. Like, that film really goes, and it's pretty much the same length as Dead Reckoning Part 1, but you wouldn't tell.
No, it feels like it's 20 minutes shorter.
Yeah.
Which ties up exactly into you saying the first 25 minutes is a little bit of a slog.
Yep, quite. So, there we are. Dead Reckoning Part 1. Dune. I'm just going to talk about Dune Part 1 before Becky comes back and kills me. I think it's one of the most boring 4 out of 5 blockbusters you'll ever see. But gets away with it because when it's not boring, it's fucking incredible. It's got visuals for days, just as Denny wants.
Yep.
It's got bagpipes. And
okay. Fucking TV there.
Absolutely. And it's got some really, really good sequences. It's also got an awful lot of portentous setup to stuff that you hope is paid off in the second one. And that last half hour where it's Ferguson and Chalamet wandering around the desert until they find the Fremen, and then that Fremen guy going, no, I want to fight him. I think it's a bit of a limp ending. But apparently Dune Part 2 kind of proves that it really is just one massive film. So we'll see how that bears out. I'm really looking forward to Part 2 because everybody's saying, hey, even if you didn't like Part 1, you're going to vibe with this. It's like, it is a guerrilla warfare film. It is more kind of fully formed in that kind of way, and that's great. But don't get me wrong, I like Dune. I've seen it 3 times, but yeah, I'm not nearly as in the tank as others are. So yeah. Okay. Sorry. So I also rewatched Scream 6. Sorry, excuse me. Been talking for quite a while. I think it's doing things with my throat. Yeah, look, it gone down a bit here. I think the pre-titles is one of the best. The revelation of like the Ghostface killing the woman and then pulling off the mask, and then it's like, okay, that's not even the real Ghostface. It's like a really, really fun twist. Because almost like that section almost kind of starts a bit like, what, he's just going to get her to wander down an alley and then stab her? That's a bit, really? But then it kind of plays you with that. But then, it's about 2 hours long. I think it's the longest Scream film. It feels long. There's some decent set pieces in it, but also there's an awful lot of kind of like continuing on, like Samantha's weird seeing Skeet Ulrich in the mirror and having conversations with him stuff, which is just what? Yeah, it's just bizarre. And that, yeah, they've absolutely fucked themselves over for the next one because nobody important dies. They're just all still there, despite the fact that the stabs are probably the most stabby stabs of any of these films, and no one dies. It feels like they shot it so like a lot of the deaths could have been either way, and they just go, yeah, we'll have everyone live in this one. And now Melissa Barrera's not coming back, Jenna Ortega's not coming back, so what the fuck are you going to do? You're going to have the two twins? No, you're going to pay Neve Campbell a shitload of money, Courtney Cox a shitload of money. You're going to have those two and Neve Campbell's kids.
And Stu's going to be back.
It would be interesting if Stu's back, but it's like he's rehabilitated or something.
No, I want him back, but it'd be like full blown like the killer. But like just really obvious, like he doesn't even put on the Ghostface mask. He just wears like a Ghostface t-shirt or something like that.
That you see that, but I mean, in all seriousness, that would be something different.
Yeah, and it's just it's really easy,
brazen.
Yeah, it's really easy when they say, "Well, everyone said we were dead," and then just like one of the police officers says, "Look, for your safety and for your mental safety, we told you he was dead, even though he was just in a maximum security prison." There you go.
Yeah. No, quite. So, look, we'll see what happens with that. That film's in all sorts of development hell. We're not going to be seeing it for a while. No. Which is kind of a surprise, really, considering that Scream 6 literally came out a year after Scream 5. And I know, obviously, there was some pandemic-related delays, but still. Okay, and then I... Did I talk about Predator last week?
Yes, you did.
Okay, I did. Cool. Didn't talk about Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Didn't.
No, okay. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Kind of like a Spielberg that people don't really talk about. Sorry, just going to blow my nose again. And yeah, in a way, I see why. It's just this odd film that kind of like mixes the wonder of and horror of there being extraterrestrial life, like the sequence where the kid who I love that he's called Barry, and it's just like the woman shouting Barry loads. But like when he gets taken, that sequence is a horror movie sequence.
Yeah.
For a few minutes, it's ace. But and it kind of mixes that and the wonder. But then you've also got Richard Dreyfuss just playing a guy who like goes mad, leaves his family and fucks off to space. Like, which I know Spielberg has said, like, if he made it as an older man, he wouldn't have done that. But there's some weird
that's it.
It wouldn't have been.
It wouldn't have been as good.
I don't know because it's. This is where you and I differ. I feel, but I just. He got, like, I get that his wife is the one who leaves, you know. But man, he didn't help himself, and he was already kind of a dick to his family before that as well.
That's it. It's the imperfectness of the characters that make that film more interesting. If he was just a real good dad, and you know, it was just he was taking his son along for the ride to see these aliens and something like that, it would just be like, this is just a bit wanky.
I don't know. Yeah.
Whereas the imperfections of it are the fact that it is just the guy is imperfect. That's what makes that film more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It undercuts it for me in the wrong way against The Wonder, but you know, it's subjective. But yeah, like it's a really, really good. It's a really good film. It's got some great standout moments, and like the ships communicating at the end, and like the kind of like when they open the doors and the reveal of all those people who'd been taken and stuff. It's great. And like the alien designs feel like they were very influential post this as well. And yeah, like that's the wonder mixed with the horror of the situation is very, very well done. But yeah, I don't know. The main narrative for us doesn't quite do it for me, but hey. Okay, so I'm getting there. So I watched all the Men in Black films. Yeah, why not?
I love the fact you had a Men in Black day yesterday.
Yeah, so I like Donna and I watched Men in Black on Sunday, and then like I was just ill yesterday. And just like, fuck, I just need to stare at something really low effort. And I was like, yeah, all right, I'll watch these. So Men in Black, like, still bangs. That like Vincent D'Onofrio is incredible. So good. The way that every time Edgar is in it, the makeup makes it look more and more like the skin's rotting or just like falling out of place or something. It's ace. But Tommy Lee Jones is like really keyed in as well. Like he's not just taciturn and stoic. Like he's a bit of a dick at times, and you know, like he smiles and he laughs at points. You know, and it's not like the Tommy Lee Jones you expect. And, I mean, Will Smith is ace. Like that bit where they're in the test room, and it's just the extended bit where he's pulling the table closer to him. It's brilliant. It's just such a fun, low key bit of comedy.
It's Will Smith doing like the action bits that he likes doing, and the cool bits mixed in with the physical comedy. And yeah, he's cool, but he will absolutely send himself up bits that he's really fucking good at.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Men in Black, great. Kind of gets in and out as well. I think it's about an hour and a half. And yeah, Men in Black 2. It's about 79 minutes before credits. This one. It's not horrible, but it was also apparently affected by 9/11. Like basically, the third act was supposed to take place at the World Trade Center, and they had to abort. And yeah, like the third act doesn't feel great. Lara Flynn Boyle. Sorry, I'm just going to sneeze. Oh, God's sake. Sorry, I'm just going to try and sneeze. Yeah, Lara Flynn Boyle as the bad guy. She's all right.
Yeah.
Johnny Knoxville's kind of annoying. And just the whole fact that it's like, well, he got Kay got neuralized at the start of at the end of the last one. Now they need to de-neuralize him. Oh, okay. And then it's just like back to, it kind of loses that pathos from the end of the first one. But I'll be honest, like maybe it was because I was like tired and ill, but I didn't hate my time with it. Like there's an expanded role for Frank the Pug, and that's always good.
Me and Bex rewatched these like I think during weirdly during like the COVID lockdown times we rewatched them all, and actually, with the exception of one, I enjoyed them all.
Yeah, you know, the worm guys are back in it, and that's fun. Yeah. I think it's a good time. Men in Black 3, it's broader in its humour, but it's also got Bill Hader as Andy Warhol, where you think the whole thing is that Andy Warhol's an alien, and it's not. It's Bill Hader is actually a Men in Black agent in disguise who is baffled by the fact that his art is really lazy, but it's really popular. That's so funny.
Yeah, isn't there a bit when he goes, "I'm having to try soup."
Yeah, and it just the way that he just can't be asked. So he's like, he just draws a can of soup, and then that turns out to be really popular, and just the way he's like, "Get me out of it." I mean, his last line is, I think it's like, "You have to get me out of here. I can't tell the women from the men." That, you know, it's maybe not aged very well, but I don't know. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I just remember him. Doesn't he tell Yoko Ono that he can't come and see her because he's filming a man eating a cheeseburger?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but like he has to put on the Andy Warhol voice because like when he's talking to them, he's just talking like Bill Hader, and then it's yeah, that's good. And that's the thing. It's like the supporting cast are kind of like dialed in. Like Jermaine Clement's like really, really good as well, actually. And he's got to play a dual role at times. And I thought he was decent. And I don't know. The time travel aspect actually worked all right. And also, Josh Brolin is incredible. It's absolutely spot on Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah,
physically, the voice. You would think they de-aged Tommy Lee Jones. It's really, really impressive. You know, but like I say, it is broader. There's less of the visual invention. You know, Rip Torn's gone, and it's Emma Thompson, I think. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and that's a shame. But you know, hey, sorry, forgive me. I just need to try and find some tissues. So I'm going to shout. And then we get to Men in Black International. Directed by Fuck Gary Gray. Sorry. Oh, God, sorry, folks. It must be horrible to listen to. Yeah, Men in Black International is bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're not really going to have like any visual invention. Excuse me. The London office is just going to be MIB agents. There's not going to be any aliens walking about in there like it's passport control. Okay, that's a shame. Tessa Thompson's just going to play someone whose arc is, I didn't get neuralized, so I know there are men in black. I want to find out the secrets of the universe by joining the Men in Black. She joins 25 minutes in. Arc done.
Yeah.
So yeah.
She just
Chris Hemsworth.
She plays just low effort. That's it. It feels like all Tessa Thompson has is I should get this because I'm Tessa Thompson.
Little bit, yeah, and Chris Hemsworth. It's just like Chris Hemsworth is cool and charming. Yeah, sure, okay. There we are for 2 hours. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels really misjudged. The plot of it. I watched it yesterday. I couldn't tell you what the plot was, other than spoiler alert: Liam Neeson turns out to be the bad guy. Shocking. And yeah, it feels very paint by numbers for a franchise that allows you to do some really wild shit if you want to. Like Men in Black 2 has got this thing where it's like they need to get some information at one point. They just open up a locker in a train station and there's just this civilization in the locker. Yeah. And they like bow down to Kay because he gave them the sacred timepiece. So it's just a watch that they all bow down to. And you know, the end of the first one where it's like, it turns out that our galaxy is just like in a marble being played with by aliens and stuff. You know, that fun kind of stuff. There's none of that in this. It's just an action. It's just an action film, but one with meh staged action sequences. But the sequence with Rebecca Ferguson's quite fun.
Yes, because it's got Rebecca Ferguson.
So, yeah, and she's up for it. You know, she's dialed in, so that's good. And lastly, I watched another Fuck Gary Gray film. First time since the cinema for Law-Abiding Citizen.
He's gonna kill everyone.
He's gonna kill everyone.
Everyone.
And
he's gonna get bolloco at one point.
It's a dark old film, this.
It's he gets out of he breaks out of prison by literally just removing the toilet and then just fucking walking out of a corridor.
But I mean, that's great though. The whole kind of like who's working with him on the outside kind of thing. It's like, yeah, no one. It's just him.
Yep.
It's I mean that's great. Just there are basically no really good guys in this, nope. And like maybe the only one is Leslie Bibb, and she just gets blown up. It's just this like really depressing, nihilistic view of society. And like, yeah, in the end, nobody really wins. Like Jamie Foxx, like basically everyone he works with's been murdered, and Gerard Butler, you know, trying to like he kind of gets vigilante justice against the people who killed his wife and his kid, but he just goes up in flames in this like weirdly beautiful slow motion flames engulfing him shot.
Yep.
It's just this angry, it's a vicious little film. It's really odd.
It is. I really quite like it, but in a sense of the fact that it's just bleak.
Yeah, but like the whole kind of twisty-turny nature of it's pretty good as well. You know, it is absolute horse shit what the twist actually is. But yeah, I just thought, you know, the way that he's just this ordinary guy. It actually turns out that no, he's not.
No,
he's not. Like a lethal guy who makes assassin traps.
Yeah, like, he's just he's just an engineer. Yeah. 40 minutes later, other assassin traps. Like, what the fuck? Where did that come from?
It's great. It's silly, but also really bleak.
Yep.
And somehow that combo does actually work. Yeah. Law-Abiding Citizen, don't hate it by any means. And like you say, he's going to kill everyone.
Yeah. Which is a quote, Becky, that comes out in our house quite a lot, doesn't it?
So often.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Nice.
How was your day? I'm going to kill everyone.
What, everyone?
Everyone.
Full Gerard Butler?
Full Gerard Butler.
Nice. That's me. I'm going to mute, and apologies for the nose blowing that I've done on occasion so far this episode. I'm going to mute now. Over to you guys.
Becky, what have you been watching?
On my own?
On your lonesome, yeah.
Not a lot.
Well, that's fine.
Okay, so...
I've not got a lot that I've watched on my lonesome.
Right, on my own, I've watched a couple, and a funny rewatch. So I watched The Dirt.
All right, the Motley Crue biopic.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think it's probably... I really enjoyed The Dirt when we first watched it, but then haven't revisited it, because you've not really been fussed about rewatching it, have you? So I watched it when you were on a late and I was waiting for you to finish. I think it's probably one of those films where if you're a Motley Crue fan, you probably hate it. It's probably inaccurate as fuck. But if you're not, it's really good fun. And
you just watch it as a film about an imaginary band.
Yeah.
About that T-shirt band.
Yeah, and then for days afterwards I had that Hot Tub Time Machine song that I can't now remember the name of stuck in my head, and wanted to watch Hot Tub Time Machine, but didn't, because we are not in a hot tub.
No.
So, so I watched The Dirt. I also rewatched. Actually, all of mine were rewatches. Sorry to Bother You.
Oh yeah, the Lakeith Stanfield Horse's Head movie.
The Horsey Head movie, the Equisapiens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I really like Sorry to Bother You. I can see why people would really hate it. I feel like it's one that you either, by the time shit gets weird, you're in and you're fine with it, or not. Or really not. I think if you're not in the bag by the time the horsemen turn up, it's probably going to lose you forever.
I remember I enjoyed it, thought it was bobbins, and nowhere near as good as people were telling me it was.
I think it's a good... The thing is, I don't think the story is particularly sophisticatedly mapped. I think he's shown what he wants to show and he's said what he wants to say, but it's quite abstract. But I think it is quite an interesting kind of little comment on like capitalism and stuff like that. I do think it is quite interesting, and gentrification obviously is in there as well. But I think it's trying to say too much in one film.
Yeah.
It is one of the less annoying Tessa Thompson performances for me.
Disagree.
I think she's less annoying in this than she is in, say, some other stuff. She turns up at the end of a film that we watched together, didn't she? And she's just like, "What? You somehow managed to be almost the worst thing in a really shit movie, and you were only there for 30 seconds." But we'll get to that.
No, I've already done it.
Oh, you've already done it?
Yeah.
Marvel's is shit.
Disagree with you.
It's fucking shit.
It's not.
It's badly written. It's like a fucking kids' Saturday morning TV show. It's shit. Kamala Khan, really annoying for the first third of the movie.
Being ironical, I quite liked it.
Well, you're both fucking idiots. But I really do, because I saw something commenting on this, some article about this earlier, about what the problem with the MCU and specifically Captain Marvel, and a lot of people were just commenting that a lot of it's just Brie Larson. She's got a real air of "I'm better than you and my shit don't stink" in everything she does, and you probably like that because she seems like a real bitch, but I think she's... If you're going to be a fucking Marvel superstar, you've got to buy into it. You can't think you're above it and act all like Brie Larson about it.
Anyway.
So I also... Right, we'll get the ones that I enjoyed out of the way. I also rewatched Wonka.
Yes, you did.
Wonka's fucking lovely. It's like a hug in a film. And it's pretty because it's Timothy Chalamet. It is just it's such nostalgia bait. So I can see why if you don't like the Gene Wilder movie, you maybe won't get as much out of it. But if you do, there's so many bits that it's like that fucking Leonardo DiCaprio meme.
Do you know what I am really liking about the current, like the Dune press tour at the moment? I get the feeling like what's happening to Timothy Chalamet is he's getting brought down to earth a little bit because he's having to stand next to Austin Butler and go, right, I am no longer the sexiest thing in this fucking room. This is weird from me. I'm used to being the sexiest thing in every fucking room, and then this fucking thing's turned up.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a shot of all of them together. And I was looking at going, that is a sexy group of people. And Austin Butler, who is just on a fucking another fucking level in it. You look at going, he's not real.
I feel like that about Zendaya though. I don't think Zendaya's real. I think she was made in a factory.
She might have been, but that factory went, that's good, but have you seen this?
Have you seen the XY model we made?
Yeah.
It is bonkers that she's going out with Tom Holland. Like, don't get me wrong, Tom Holland, good looking dude. I'm sure he's charming. Zendaya, yeah, I don't know. That's like a 5 and a 10.
I mean, that
in
is one way
Hollywood
to
terms.
guarantee you're just never going to get cheated on, though.
It
Look like Zendaya and date down.
It is, but like, I get the feeling like Tom Holland there is like when he's mate saying, "Are you bothered like that she like fucking like that she's constantly hanging out with Charlemagne?" He's like, "No, I'm not bothered." It's like, all right, are you bothered that he's hanging out with Austin Butler? He's like, "Yes, really fucking bothered."
Yeah, but he's with Kaya Gerber, isn't he?
I don't know who that is.
It's Cindy Crawford's daughter.
Still don't know. I know who Cindy Crawford is. Don't know. Lost me at daughter.
Kylie Gerber.
What?
Oh shit! Yeah,
Kylie Gerber.
Okay.
Kaya Gerber.
Fucking hell, that's a hot couple.
Innit?
That fair play.
Gerber.
Gerber, yes.
Gerber.
Gerber.
Let's have a look.
I mean, I think he's probably.
Oh,
fine.
good.
Nah, she's punching a little
Good
bit.
for both of them.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
That's a
she's
hot couple of people.
Oh, they're a hot couple of people. But if you were to say, if you were to say, look, you're going to be involved in this, I'd be going, all right, but can she fuck off?
I don't know. It's not Tom Holland and Zendaya levels of punching.
No,
like
it's not. It's not that level. No.
I was telling Mark about the internet's collective panties melted the other day when Austin Butler wore white eyeliner to a premiere.
Yeah.
That was amusing. Yeah, I think what I really, really enjoy about Wonka, just to take you back to that for a second, Chalamet's there. He's like right in it. He's not like I'm Timothy Chalamet. I'm a very serious man.
No,
He's just in that. He's so invested.
Timothy Chalamet, yeah, he is very up. He's not. I won't do anything that makes me look a bit silly.
Yeah.
He's very much. I will do shit that makes me look fucking silly.
It's just
He's a
lovely.
laugh.
Yeah, it's just lovely. It's a lovely, 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 lovely film.
Timothy Chalamet seems like he'd be a great afternoon pint. Maybe not a great nighttime pint, but a great afternoon pint.
Why not a nighttime pint?
I just don't think he'd be a great nighttime.
because he's got to go to bed.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He'd have 3 pints and be like, "That's it. I never go more than 3." And you'd be like, "They're going, all right. Oh, he just got fucking off." And then do you know what would happen? Austin Butler would come over and go.
Austin Butler
"I'd
would
go
walk in,
more than
sorry.
fucking
Yeah,
3." You'd be
perfect.
like, "This is going to be a fucking great night." And I am at some point going to tell you how much of an erection I have right now.
He'd come over with his Elvis voice and his glass of like hard whiskey.
Yeah.
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 And I know it's stupid, I just really wish he wasn't dating Kylie Jenner. It really upsets me. It makes me not respect him as much.
Does it give you the ick?
It really does, yeah. Like, I look at him with his pointy face and his floppy hair and he's a lovely looking guy and he seems like a nice guy. And then he's dating a Kardashian and it's like, what? What do you talk about?
Can I ask you the next question then?
Go on.
What was the other movie you watched, Becky?
So I rewatched Cats.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
How did that go?
Oh, wow.
That opening 10 minutes of Cats is like where it's just really discordant music and like cats prowling around. You imagine the terror the Universal execs must have felt
What?
watching that.
Yeah, it is the literal embodiment of the I've made a huge mistake.
I don't understand how it got A, completed and B, released. The only thing I can think is that when people were watching the dailies and saying, this looks shit, there was a lot of, yeah, but it'll be fixed in post.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I can think. And then it just never got fixed in post.
Yeah, literally to the point of where, like, when it got released, they fixed it after, 3 or 4 days of it being out.
Yeah.
To fix the weird hand thing.
Oh, God, yeah, they patched it, didn't they?
Imagine patching a movie that's out.
I did, the one thing that is good about Cats that I'd forgotten until I was reading the IMDb trivia about it was all the furore online about release the butthole cut. I'd forgotten all about that.
That was great. What a time to be alive.
It was good. But yeah, I mean, I just like I personally hate Judi Dench, and I don't like to see her in things. And I'm glad that she was in this piece of shit. I know not everyone hates Judi Dench. So you've got Ian McKellen, Ian fucking McKellen and Judi Dench, veteran, well-respected actors, in this fucking piece of shit. It is shit. Like, just like on a purely technical level, like
It's still shit.
the scaling of everything is just wrong. Like, wrong. Sometimes the cats are like based on like context of things that are around them. Sometimes they're like the size of a fucking tennis ball. Sometimes they're like the size of a small dog. The mice appear to be about the size of a cat's fucking toe.
I mean, I do. The one thing I think that has come out of it that is good is it's very possible that Tom Hooper will never direct another movie.
I really fucking hope not. Because he's not. I mean, look at what he's fucking made. What a pile of shit.
And also, he does look like someone's tried to draw David Cameron from memory.
Yeah, he does. That's really good. Rebel Wilson, fucking awful in it. James Corden, obviously, fucking awful.
I literally forgot Rebel Wilson existed as the person until you just said her name then. And I was like, who? I recognise that name, but who? And then I remembered, yeah.
I do wonder if this, like, watching herself back in this was what made her go, I need to lose some fucking weight. Because it is not flattering to her. Like, there are ways to be flattering to bigger bodies. This is not it. It's just, it's like they've gone out of their way to make her look worse than she actually did. Yeah, James Corden. Actually, his song in it's quite good, though. Like, that is one of the good pieces of it. But I really dislike James Corden. Who else? Oh, God. I'd forgotten all about Idris Elba disappearing into a cloud of smoke and just going, McCavity! That's quite good. Taylor Swift putting on...
I like Ray Winstone as like that one that's just on that tugboat.
Yeah. Taylor Swift doing that weird accent that she does as part of her song when she goes, McCavity wasn't there. And it's just like, what is that voice, Taylor? What the fuck are you doing?
Oh, fuck, I think I need to watch Cats again.
And you don't.
I really would not waste your time. Like, I watched it to see if maybe we were just a bit unsympathetic and like mean girls about it, and it actually wasn't that bad, and it is
that bad.
horrible. Like, I came out of it and I felt like I wanted to go and be sick. Like, the amount of times, like, and I know they're trying to emulate cat behaviour, but come on. You don't need to just be walking past each other, rubbing your fucking faces against each other's shoulders and each other's noses and shit like that. It's weird.
The thing is, if the movie Cats didn't exist, right, and you explained it to somebody, like you were the only person that remembered that Cats exist, the film Cats exist, and you were to explain it to somebody, they would go, that could never exist. And the weird thing is, it fucking does.
See, I'd like to see...
Do you remember when Jennifer Hudson does Memory and she's got like snot and stuff all like...
Yeah.
It's... good times.
What I love about that is
She's
Jennifer
boring
Hudson
as well.
is a bad person. She's an unpleasant person.
Okay.
Right? And she definitely thought she was winning Academy Awards for that.
Yeah.
And then it just fucking... It got laughed out of town.
Like,
Everybody should feel bad.
Yeah. I think Ian McKellen does well with his bit. I think the...
Everyone should feel bad.
The Railway Cat dance song section bit is fun, because it's tap dancing. I like tap dancing. Clickety clackety bullshit. It's fun. Makes a good noise. I never want to hear the word Jellicle ever again in my life. It's horrible. It's horrible. And the lead girl in it, playing fucking Snowball or whatever her character's called, Victoria, she's so fucking earnest, and I hate it.
Is that the one that was introducing and then literally...
never done anything again.
She's a prima ballerina with some ballet.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm sure she's fine, like just randomly making her toes bleed. But Yeah.
I'm sure she's fine, but has no toenails.
Yeah. I love cats. I wanted to drown all of these cats in a barrel.
What have we watched together? So what did we watch here, Becky?
The commentary for Cats?
No, because I reckon that fucking... What is it, Tom Hooper?
Yeah.
I reckon he's probably really fucking smug on it and thinks he's done something good. I want to hear a commentary of him, like, rewatching it now and just going, what the fuck was I thinking? This has ruined my career. It has ruined so many people. How Taylor Swift has come out of this unscathed, I don't know. I don't know. But she's awful.
Basically, because COVID was a conspiracy by the cast and crew of Cats, Tom Hooper went to Wuhan, fucked a bat, and that's how COVID started, to deflect attention.
Fair.
It worked.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah. And it is so hard to find as well. Like, they have hidden that shit deep.
They have, yeah.
Real deep.
Real deep.
But yeah. So we watched Airheads. Because I've been banging on about watching Airheads.
Yep. You.
Yeah.
Not me.
We didn't do a Pauly Shore movie this week.
No, we are a little bit into In the Army now, but we haven't quite managed to finish it, have we?
No.
Just one thing very quickly. Cats is a U.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
How'd that happen?
It should be a 15.
I think it should be an 18 for potential trauma. And it should be condemned by, like, any animal humane society people for the potential bad feeling it will cause towards real life cats.
The description of it on Apple TV: a tribe of cats must decide yearly which one will ascend to the Heaviside layer and come back to a new life. If you didn't know what Cats was, you just read that description and go, I have 50 questions.
And none of them will be answered.
Yeah.
I might watch Cats again.
I would go for it if you want to give it another go. I would strongly recommend against it. It is not...
Ah, I forgot that Jason Derulo was in it.
Oh, yeah, he's...
Milk!
He's quite funny in it, to be fair.
Sorry, I'll stop now. Oh, dear. Great stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, Airheads.
Yep. I like Airheads. It's fun. It's without question. It's very much a snapshot of the time, but it's a fun film.
Yeah. It is. It's really good fun, and I think like you say, it's very of its time. Bands were a thing that kids did back in the 90s.
Not only that, you had things like releasing a record was a thing, which is coming back now.
Yeah.
But like the whole record deal bit, it feels like a good. It feels like a good kind of almost like period piece now.
Yes.
And it's silly.
It is real silly, but it's fun, and I think like all three of the main guys are really, really good in it. Like they're very well-rounded performances still.
Yeah.
Like, and it's Adam Sandler, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I knew the person. I didn't know whether I was connecting the right name to it. And like it's real weird seeing him that young. That's fun. And Brendan Fraser just being hot in it. I miss hot Brendan Fraser.
We all do. We all do.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. I didn't love this one.
Yeah, we watched John Q, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, the Denzel Washington film everybody's forgotten about. Which is basically just them telling off the essentially the healthcare system of America.
Yeah.
Where a guy takes a hospital hostage until his son gets an operation that he'll need because the insurance won't pay out
Yeah.
on the specific one he's got.
Yeah, and he earns too much to get Medicare.
Yeah.
No, he's got healthcare, so he can't get Medicare, but his healthcare
Because he's got
is being
healthcare.
downgraded.
Because the healthcare that he's got will cover the operation, but the healthcare policy that he now has, because they changed providers, won't cover it.
Yeah.
So in theory, he has it covered, but the healthcare company won't, and it's Nick Cassavetes going, I'm going to tell off the American healthcare system, but here's Denzel Washington taking a hospital hostage.
Anne Hesh is a bitch, innit?
Yeah, but then they kind
She's
of like
very
halfway through try to change her character and then just get bored.
She's quite good at being a bitch, though.
She was, yes.
I do... Oh, gosh, yeah. I do find it quite sad that James Woods is James Woods, because he's a very good actor.
He's a very good actor, but the problem is he
James Woods.
is now just cocaine's James Woods.
Yeah, but yeah, real good watch.
And we also rewatched Pump Up the Volume, didn't we?
Yeah, we revisit it
Denny's
on the
film you would
semi-regular.
fucking hate this movie.
Why?
Because he doesn't believe that talking should exist in movies. No one comes to movies for talking.
Have I missed something?
Yeah. Dennis Villeneuve's basically come out and said that he doesn't think that dialogue is important in movies, it's visual, that dialogue is for theatre and TV.
Well, Mark Hunter doesn't believe that.
No.
He talks hard.
He talks hard. Fucking great movie. Fucking love Pump Up the Volume.
Yeah, it is fucking brilliant.
It's genuinely... for a movie that is what it's about, it manages to kind of capture at points do you know what? The whole, these are the best years of your life. When you're living them, they're not.
No.
Stop being a fucking dickhead.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as adults it's easy to think that kids have got it easy, and being a kid's really fucking hard, and working out who you are and your place in things. And really, as awful as it sounds, accepting that you're probably not going to do anything that special. Yeah,
it's just a... Every time I watch it, I keep thinking, is this going to be the time where I watch it and it's going to have aged badly? And it hasn't, actually.
No, it hasn't.
No.
What was he you said he's going to be in?
Christian Slater is going to be in the new Spiderwick Chronicles.
Oh, I fucking love Spiderwick.
So we've also watched a couple of TV things, haven't we?
Yeah.
So we've started watching the Ted TV show, haven't we?
Yeah.
What are you thinking so far? Like 4 episodes in Out with X.
It's fine. If you didn't want to watch it, I wouldn't carry on rewatching it. If it was just me, I wouldn't have even started watching it.
It's very, very silly.
Yeah.
It's very, very stupid. And I know that kind of goes without saying that the Ted TV show is very stupid.
I actually think the kid in it, playing young Mark Wahlberg, is really good though.
Yeah.
It's Ted himself that I'm not... But I never have been particularly enamoured with Ted.
No, but it's just it's silliness and it's mild offensiveness I find amusing.
That's fair.
Yeah.
There's only like 8 episodes in there.
Yeah, so far. And we watched all of this, haven't we?
We have.
So
now,
we watched
yeah.
it for a couple of weeks. But we've watched all of this. So we've watched the now just like fucking ends and hasn't made another series yet.
Yeah.
For 3 years, Lord of Milk.
Is it cancelled or is it just...
No, it's just in hiatus.
Right, okay. Fair.
Yeah. So for anyone who's not familiar with Lord of Milk...
Stars Mark.
It's about... It stars Ron Livingston as Sam Laudermilk, a recovering alcoholic, ex-movie, music critic, who is now essentially working he runs support groups, doesn't he? And he works a minimum wage job and just is kind of a little bit moody.
A little bit moody?
Yeah. And... You pretty much
cynical asshole is what he is.
You pretty much constantly kept saying that he reminded.
Oh my god, you do that.
You do that.
Oh my god, you do.
To the point of where in one episode I was like, I don't think I do, and then within literally the first 5 minutes of the next episode we watched, he did 3 things that I do on the regular, just straight away, including saying something, I can't remember what it was, that I say, and you just went, holy fuck, it was like the show knew.
There's a bit where, like, there's this woman he likes, so he buys her a record and like one of those little portable record players, and she's really pleased with it, and he's really pleased that she's getting into it, and he goes round to her apartment and looks at her record collection, doesn't approve of it, so he steals it. You would do that. You're very judgmental.
No, I'm not actually. I think that I don't believe in the phrase guilty pleasure. I think everyone should like what they like, and that's cool if people like what they like. And so I'm cool with that. So I don't really agree with you on that point there.
Okay.
But yeah, there are also other bits that I think you could very much sort of say, all right, fair enough, yeah. But I actually really enjoyed Lord of Milk.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's fun, it's funny, it's a half an hour show, and when you get to the season 3, because it builds the characters that are in his support group in. One of them that is kind of like a character of fun throughout it, a character called Muggsy, gets a really good arc, doesn't he? That's quite heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And it's the performance from the comedian Brian Regan playing him, it is really fucking good. He plays the just completely broken by everything just really well, and it does kind of it adds a little bit of dramatic weight to it. I enjoyed it, and a little bit gutted that it's now we've watched 3 seasons,
Yeah.
and there's probably not going to be a 4th.
Well, hopefully they revisit it.
Yeah.
My one criticism of it is that they try and build up new guy into a bigger character.
He's just not a
They
very
do give up on that, though,
fun character.
towards the end, don't they? He's just annoying.
Yeah.
Just before we go into what you've been watching,
Yeah.
have you guys seen the first look pictures of The Crow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I'm interested because of who it is, but yeah, I'm just not sure.
It's a Crow for today, isn't it?
Does look like it's a Crow for today, yeah.
I'm interested to see what happens with it. Like, if it's shit, the Brandon Lee one exists still. Like, it's not going to replace it in the world. So I'm fine with them doing it. I don't really see why, but fine, I'll give it a watch. But I showed the picture to the guy that I work with, and he was like, I was just like, oh, check out Pennywise's abs, and he was like, huh, someone's been skipping chest day. That was his only comment. And he has got like this real like tiny shrunken chest and then these abs.
It's a CrossFit body, isn't it, rather than he could run a 5K, whereas the abs guy couldn't. The pecs guy couldn't.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, sorry to interject. Obviously I missed the start, so I didn't know what you talked about.
Yeah, well, should have been here, shouldn't you?
Yeah, I was at work.
So what have I watched? I rewatched Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Jurassic World. It's good. Good action movie. It gets a little bit bland and a little bit just, here's some things towards the end, 20 minutes. But in building up to that, it's good. I mean, I actually like Bryce Dallas Howard in it. I think it's just quite fun.
Cool.
In it. But yeah, like that. Also rewatched Tin Cup, the Kevin Costner, Ron Shelton movie, after I watched Bull Durham the other week. It's also Kevin Costner, Ron Shelton movie. But this one, he's not a baseball player, this one, no, he's a golfer. He's a golfing man.
Golfing man.
Yeah.
Because golfing is cool.
But he's not like your traditional golfer, no. I like Tin Cup, it's fun. It's a fun movie. Not that much so, it's too long. It's like 2.25 hours long.
Gosh, is it?
Yeah. This movie shouldn't be 2.25 hours long.
I feel like Kevin Costner doesn't do short films.
He doesn't often do short films, no. What else did I watch? Rewatched Toy Soldiers.
I'd have watched this with you.
Well, you didn't.
For fuck's sake. Yep.
I mean, yes, correct.
Toy Soldiers is good. It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
However, every time I watch Toy Soldiers, I'm always blown away by the fact that Toy Soldiers was made in 1991 and it couldn't feel more like it was made in 1986. But it wasn't. It was made in 1991. It's good, but you are watching it going... There's an element of... Yeah, but you're basically going, oh, look at these fantastic young boys that are all come from good stock doing all of these things. And it's a bit like, nah, they won't do that. That wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't happen. But yeah, it's funny enough. And then to round off what else I watched, I rewatched a movie called Leaves of Grass, the Tim Blake Nelson written and directed movie starring Edward Norton, Susan Sarandon, Kerry Russell, Edward Norton again, and Tim Blake Nelson himself. A movie that literally me saying I watched Leaves of Grass has made everybody listening to this podcast go, holy shit, yeah, that was a movie.
Yeah, because, that's what I just did.
Because nobody has remembered this fucking movie. Even I forgot it existed until I saw it on Prime and went, fucking hell, yeah. So, we watched this. For anyone who's not watched it, Susan, Edward Norton plays twin brothers.
Yeah.
From a deep south place called Little Dixie. One of whom, they're both geniuses.
Yeah.
One of whom has become an academic. And one of whom has become a horticulturalist pot dealer.
Nice.
And yeah, the horticulturalist pot dealer has got himself in some shit, so cons his brother into coming back down to visit a place that he never goes to, so he can pretend to be him so he can commit a murder.
Oh.
Yeah. I enjoyed my rewatch of it. It's fun and it's kind of breezy, and I like this about Tim Blake Nelson directed movies.
Yeah.
That they're like, he did one, I'm fairly certain he directed this. I need to just double check quickly to make sure I'm not misremembering this. But he did he wrote and directed a reimagining of Othello with Josh Hartnett, Mekhi Phifer and Julia Stiles. That's actually really quite good. And he also did like a really bleak movie called The Grey Zone as well. As a director, I quite like him as a director. But this is quite breezy.
Yeah,
it's fun enough, but I wouldn't say you need to rush out and rewatch it if you've already seen it. But yeah, I enjoyed it enough. Good. I completely forgot to put out for questions and bits like that today because I had a busy day at work, so we don't have any. So guys, that's kind of going to be a bit of a what are you watching? What are we covering next week, Ian?
Yeah, bloody hell. Well, still managed to do 2 hours, so good for us. So coming up next time, we're going to have Dune Part 2.
Yep.
And Spachemin.
And what?
Spachemin. New Adam Sandler film.
With his creepy fucking spider.
Okay.
I think we also have guests, don't we?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I don't know yet. But we think so.
I think we might have guests, so wait and see, guys. But yeah, that was episode 528. A more chilled affair, but a lot of fun still. So I'll say thank you very much, Ian, and I hope you feel better by June too. And thank you very much, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mark.
And thank you very much, listeners.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.